So what's good, YouTube? Welcome to the channel, your girl Natasha Nisha. So, on this one, I'll be speaking about like, do we really know what is divorce? And also, this is just to bring clarity. In a previous video, it is titled like how to leave a narcissistic situation. The exit plan, how to craft the exit plan to leave a narcissistic situation. There, I just briefly touched on divorce. And in that video, I went on to say that God hates divorce. Scripture tells us that we know that. And I went on to describe divorce or define divorce as being the act or sin that makes the marriage divorce worthy. And I said that is what God hates. It's that sin that actually makes the marriage divorce worthy. So on this video, I'll just be bringing a little bit more clarity to that. And before I go on, also, I just want to make a disclaimer. The Lord hates divorce, and I too hate divorce. So, in no way am I advocating for divorce. So, just know that. And I hope this one can be a blessing as always. So, these are some of the thoughts I had, like, what is divorce? And this is how, because I've experienced it, I'm currently going through it. And it took me, like, in my situation, um, it just got really dark now. But in my situation, either ways, it's a 10-year marriage, like to date. But the 7 years we were together, and in the last 3 years we were estranged and stayed apart. And I was alone, and it was really difficult for me to take the step and go and get divorced. In like 3 years and plus, I just stayed single, not seeing this person, not speaking to husband, and so like I I spent some time with the Lord, understanding like what's God's views on divorce, and is it right or is it wrong for me to do, because sometimes we are taught to like forgive heal, and what have you. So just with my searches in the scripture, and these are some of the conclusions that I've come to. And what is divorce basically? So I find divorce is the act of choosing to break the marriage covenant. That is divorce, because the marriage covenant makes you one. Now the act when one or both parties choose to break the marriage covenant, that is divorce. That is what the Lord hates. That act, that sinful act, is how I now understand it. Divorce, I have here, is choosing to be sexually intimate, like have infidelity with another person other than your marital partner, your spouse. This is divorce. The Lord hates divorce. Because in a marriage, your body is reserved for one person. And if you step out and become intimate with another, that is divorce. The Lord hates divorce. So, divorce is choosing also, I have here, not to love anymore the person you promised to love in your marriage vows. That is divorce. I have also, divorce is choosing to either disrespect or abuse the person who chose you to spend the rest of their life with. So you're choosing to be disrespectful or abusive to them. That is divorce. And I again say the Lord hates divorce. So this divorce is that sinful act, I feel, that breaks the marriage covenant. There were two people who previously were together in covenant, and now these people separate, go their separate ways, breaking that covenant. That is divorce. The Lord hates divorce. That is what the Lord hates. So, as I mentioned, like forgiveness can heal a broken marriage, but sometimes, divorce is inevitable or seems inevitable, it seems forced on you. And why I say this is because in marriage, it's two people and the two become one in marriage. But however, for it to be a healthy, thriving, working union, two parties need to play a role. Two parties need to grow, change, and do the work in a marriage. You know, both parties need to come to the party. So yeah, so if in a situation it is an unequally yoked marriage, so this will be um, a situation whereby, like people could be pulling in different directions because of the unequal yoking, or they can be moving at too different a pace in regarding to growth, you know, in the situation, in the marriage, sorry, in the marriage. So this is the case of an unequally yoked, marriage. And this is a bad union from the start, from the get-go, from the jump. This is a bad union. It actually shouldn't have been. And these are some of the reasons that we find divorce occurs, because the scripture even says, be not unequally yoked. So many times when we unequally yoke ourselves up, you know, it results in divorce. It results in divorce. And so, also, this is just a thought that I had. And, like in marriage, how two people become one. And now let's say one person steps out in unfaithfulness. And this is sin, we know. One person steps out of the marriage in unfaithfulness. This is sin. But could it be that when God sees it, he sees both parties as guilty for that act? And why I'm thinking this is because the two become one. So just could it be because also how I'm thinking is that, like, in any issue, many times altercation, like in this world, it takes both parties to contribute to make that issue, that problem, whatever it is. And I'm gonna add the fact that, like, we're not perfect beings. Nobody is 100% innocent in any disagreement or problem that may occur. Nobody is 100% innocent, is what I've come to learn. And so that's just a thought. Like, could it be that even though, like, one person may sin, but because we both are guilty in some way, like for contributing, is some of what I thought. You can let me know what your thoughts on that. And then, as I said also, this is because none of us are perfect. So we are two broken human beings many times coming together in marriage. And God uses marriage to heal and grow character in people, and marriage can heal and we can grow in marriage, but we must allow this. It's up to us if we allow it to change us, to grow us, to mature us into better people. And marriage can, if we allow it, bring us to this higher place. Marriage is what we call a higher call. However, to that, I just want to add that, like, yes, marriage can bring you to that higher place and the higher call, but like passion and purpose as well can do the same thing, can bring you to the higher place, a higher call. And this is also why marriage is not for everyone. Marriage is not for all. So as beings, as human beings, we all have the opportunity still to reach this higher place. And there's many avenues I'm finding that we can attain this. So these are just some of my thoughts. I don't profess to know it all. I don't profess to know anything, but these are some of my thoughts, just double clicking on the, word divorce for myself. And this is just what I understand it to be, if I'm going to go deeper into what is divorce. So I hope this one was a blessing to you, and I'm just going to repeat again that the Lord hates divorce. I too hate divorce. And divorce is the sin, the act of choosing to break marriage covenant. Covenant is holy unto God. So that's all for this one. This is me, your girl, Natasha.